Presenting the new Mercedes-AMG GT R and the GTC.
On all AMG cars going forward. Yes. Now let me talk about the two specific models that we are launching today, the AMG GT R as well as the AMG GTC. The GTR is probably as close as possible to a street legal racing car that you can get. It's all about racing, pure racing technology that we have in the car. And on the other hand, with a slightly less horsepower, we have the AMG GTC. This is a car obviously for driving enthusiasts, but at the same time, little tuned down and more tuned for day-to-day use.
But no problem, see that side. Okay, see all of it. Welcome, I'm from Motoring Malaysia. Then before we get into the actual interview,
Your name?
Rickval.
Rigwa.
Rickval Reza. I'm with Motoring Malaysia. I founded this channel, basically it's blog that somehow now is into YouTube and all. Let's start with the cars launched today.
Yes.
So, tell me more about the cars. Two flagship AMG models.
Yes.
Describe to me what they mean to you.
Yes. Rigwa, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
What do they mean to me? I mean, it's the most exciting cars that we have in our stable. And I mean, for me, whenever I get into one of these cars, I push the button, hear the engine noise. I mean, this every time gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
So these cars are all about excitement, passion, and I mean, they when you get into these cars, you're as close as possible to motorsports than in any other car, I think.
So the AMG thing has to do it. You guys like to synergize AMG with motorsports
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
I remember it started off with motorsports and all with the Red Pig, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, in the 60s. Yeah.
In the 60s and all.
It's-
So yes, it's motorsport, but I think AMG grew from their Hammer series of cars and all, right?
Yeah.
So it has evolved along the ways into what it is today.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you say there is a change in terms of philosophy, or is it still on the same course, or has it been expanded and modernized?
I think, I mean, if you look at the base philosophy, I think this has never changed over the last 50 or 51 years. It's now the history of AMG. While at the same time, if you look at the cars, I mean, in the beginning it was about sound and getting really fast from 0 to 100 and back.
Yeah.
If you look at the cars, at the AMG cars that we have today, I mean, they're much more refined. It's not only about fast acceleration, but they have much more racing technology, and so it's really about performing well on the racetracks of these worlds, while at the same time giving you a fantastic driving experience also outside, and that you're also able to use them on a day-to-day, just on a daily commute to office or your weekend activity.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz and AMG has that easy to use. It can just change easily from Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes, yeah, and back.
Which is why I kind of like the brand personally,
Yeah.
Fanboy,
Yeah.
in some ways.
Happy to hear. Yeah. I'm happy to hear. Yeah.
But again, the problem with say countries like Malaysia is that our currency is quite small in terms of actual dollar to ringgit, ringgit to euro or whatever. How do you think that this affects the Malaysian premium luxury market? Does it affect it in any way since you've been here for the last few months?
Yeah, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't think so. And if you look at, I mean, the overall luxury market, it's considering the overall size of the Malaysian automotive market, it's quite significant. While I agree, obviously, to be competitive, we have to do local manufacturing. Otherwise, we are not able to bring the cars at competitive pricing into the market, which we are happily doing. That's why we are also locally manufacturing AMGs, the 43 series, to really be able to expand our reach to a broader customer audience. At the same time, the cars, the GTs, the two GTs that we've launched today, obviously it's by no means are we able to do local manufacturing, and that's why
even if you manufacture locally, 20,000 ringgit savings.
yeah. It
What
won't
is
it won't
20,000 ringgit worth of
it
savings?
won't really help. And obviously, yes, we are also concerned, and we always try to be as competitive as possible. But these cars are brand shapers, and obviously we are addressing a specific set of customers who is willing and able to shell out this amount of money for these cars. Yeah. And we're happy. I mean, we're happy to have many enthusiasts who are willing to walk this route with us and purchase these fantastic cars.
What about these are aspirational models
Yeah.
per se? Does Mercedes-Benz actually make money from these cars all the time, or are they just there for the bigger picture?
Now, I mean, obviously, whenever we offer cars, our intention is also to make money.
Nobody, yeah.
Because now, I mean, it would be crazy if we would not try to. So, yes, I mean, I think it's safe to say that we are making money on all the cars. Otherwise, if you would see that we don't make money, we would not be offering.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, what are your plans for Malaysia now that you've been here for quite a while?
Yeah.
What are your plans in terms of Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes-AMG, and maybe even say Mercedes-Maybach?
Yeah.
What would your plans be?
Yeah.
What would your plans be for the next, say, your 5-year duration
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
What would your plan be?
No, first of all, I mean, I'm very happy to take on from a very good position because if you look at the transformation of the brand in the last couple of years, that's been a great success and great performance. We've expanded the portfolio, we've reached out to newer, broader customer groups, and while obviously from a portfolio expansion perspective, there are still some gaps that we can close in the future. We still have the opportunity to reach out to more broader customer groups, grow our market even further. On the other hand, you ask about the way the next 5 years forward is obviously the transformation in the automotive industry that we'll be seeing, the shift from classical combustion engines more to hybrids and then electric mobility. This is obviously what is moving us right now, and I think it's very exciting to be part of that journey of transformation of the automotive industry.
Yes, we do see the EQ boost, the EQ branded vehicles and all coming in. So I think Mercedes-Benz Malaysia will be bringing quite a number of those pure electric cars in the near future.
Well, the question is, what do you consider near future? We are constantly working on our portfolio. We are working on the opportunities that are in the market. And if you think about the move to electric mobility, I mean, it's a question is incentive. It's about investment into local manufacturing, but it's also it goes a little beyond that because charging infrastructure is another requirement. Because without proper charging infrastructure, that full shift is not possible. So we also have to observe the environment and see what is beyond what we typically do. Also expand our horizon and see what is going on there.
So I know Mercedes-Benz here also builds the customer relationship to another level, I would say.
Yes.
So what would you expand on? Are you expanding on that in the near future, or anything? What you think that?
No, I mean, all the things we are doing, we really aspire to and try to be as much customer centric as possible. And it starts with the products, where we want to make sure that the products are as close as possible to the needs of the Malaysian customers. But also our reach out to our existing customers, new customers. Obviously, our aspiration is to have a very high customer satisfaction in all the things that we are doing: product quality, experience at the dealerships, experience when they bring the cars to service, and also when we interact with our customers. It's like the driving experience that we're offering to our customers over the next couple of days here at the circuit and other venues that we are doing.
I do think that Mercedes-Benz actually gives a lot back to the customer in terms of driving experience, the AMG experience, the Mercedes-Benz driving experience. Would it be? I do not see a way of how the company, the brand, can expand on this. It's already so comprehensive. Do you think there's any room to evolve?
Quite frankly, there's always room to evolve. And even when, I mean, probably if you look at the properties that we are having today, the driving experience of today is probably different than the driving experience of 3 years ago, and it's going to be different in 3 years down the line, because we also evolve. We also try to make things better than before. and we also try to go into new venues, new ventures.
How do you balance heritage, which a lot of, say, the older Mercedes-Benz, you grew up with Mercedes-Benz, say, from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
They were totally different from what you see today.
Yes. Yeah.
They are very traditional.
Yeah.
Some people say a bit staid, a little bit
Yeah.
boring in some ways.
Yeah.
Bulletproof, definitely, but
Yeah.
how did the change happen, and how do you think the customers have actually evolved along with that? Yet, how do you keep the heritage in the brand?
I think that's the beauty of the brand and the strength of the brand, and I think we have not lost a single customer because of the transformation, because also our existing customers appreciated the change, making the brand, the product, the design more appealing, while at the same time we were able to reach out to a new set of customers. And this is, I think it's only possible because we do have such a strong brand, and we do have such a strong heritage. Because also our new customers, I mean, I think they're also fond of the history of Mercedes and the evolution that the Mercedes brand has undergone over the last 10, 15 years.
I am old enough to experience Mercedes-Benz here in the 70s,
Yeah.
the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
So in those days, when you bought a W123 or
Yeah.
even a 116, you walk into, say, a showroom and all, you buy a Mercedes-Benz, it was austere,
Yeah.
sparse, empty.
Yeah.
You wanted a headrest, can
nothing.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
50
yeah.
ringgit,
Yeah,
$50.
exact.
Side mirrors, even for the one on the right side, there's another
You have to
option.
pay extra. Yeah.
Would such a thing ever make a comeback, do you think?
No, not at all. No.
I
And
mean, some people do like the austere luxury kind of concept. I buy a bank walk, it just does that. There's no padding inside, but
Okay.
it's so damn solid, it will last for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Would you think that kind of traditional mindset ever come back in any premium luxury brand ever?
No, I don't see that happening. And quite frankly, I mean, if you look at the equipment level of our cars, obviously, I mean, we are in constant touch with our customers. So we also ask and we listen to them, to our customers, to our dealers internally, really to be able to come up with equipment levels that match the requirement and demands of the customers. And we also try to go the extra step. I mean, because customers don't see what will be there in 5 years. While we are planning for that, and so we always have to think ahead of what customers may demand in the future. And there's no way going back. While at the same time, I'm convinced that our cars are still designed and built in a way that are made to last.
Yeah, I agree with that. Look at the styling of your GTC and
Yeah.
the GT series.
It's
car.
timeless. It's timeless proportions.
It's that long bonnet, short
Yeah.
rear, short cabin,
Yeah.
and short
Yeah.
rear. So it's very timeless and all. So
Yeah.
it might not go out of date at all. Definitely. I mean, it harks back to it. As I said, an era, but it was a different era. But as I said, the equipment levels those days were different. It's so different nowadays. So
Would you want to go back to your Nokia handphone without?
no. But the thing is, would you want to go back to a W124 AMG Hammer? Would you want to go back?
Every once in a while, maybe.
Yes.
Every once in a while, because I mean, it's a totally different experience.
it's
It's probably not from a day-to-day use perspective,
Yeah, but
but
you still could, except for the brakes.
yeah.
Okay, back to this one. How different a market is Malaysia to India?
Oh,
You were from India last time. How different? You say both are developing countries, both have supposedly world-class infrastructure here and there.
Yeah.
But how big a difference aside from, say, SUV and
yeah.
sedans?
So I mean, if you look at portfolio, India, we have a higher share of SUVs, which probably a lot has to do with the road conditions. So that's clearly a factor. The acceptance of premium luxury is higher in Malaysia. If you look at our share of sales in the total industry in Malaysia, we have a significantly higher market share compared to India, where luxury is still way behind. At the same time, you also have to keep in mind the cars are taxed at 48% GST,
Okay.
so which make the cars, in spite of local manufacturing, make the cars really aspirational also from a pricing perspective
Yeah.
in the market.
So,
But customers are equally demanding.
I see.
I can
So
tell
there
you.
is no difference in terms of what they want, the red carpet treatment.
They want the best. They want the best, and they get the best from us.
So, what else could you add to my viewers? I don't know how many of them they are, but add something that say why Mercedes-Benz and say compared to your other, what made you in the end think that Mercedes-Benz AMG or AMG is something unique or different?
Oh man, I mean, my recommendation for your viewers, I mean, I shouldn't talk about it. I would invite you, go to the Mercedes dealership, test drive one of the cars, whatever. You starting from a C200 is already a fantastic driving experience. Go to one of our GLA A sedan that we've just launched. It's a fantastic experience. I mean, just go there, experience, and then buy the car.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up. Actually, there's so many more questions I would ask. Discussing the heritage of Mercedes-Benz and all. There's so many nice models along the way. I think one of the best persons is somebody who grew up with Mercedes-Benz since childhood. You are German, he's German.
Yeah.
So most likely the only cars they see are most of them the German cars and all.
Yes,
Whereas here we get to see every other brand.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz was what you know the word Tauke? Tauke, the Chinese word Tauke,
No.
boss.
Oh, okay.
So those days when I was growing up in a small town,
Mercedes was boss.
no, the boss, were all these Tauke, the more of the Chinese merchants, they'll come in their shorts and their singlets and go up to the bank in their Mercedes-Benz, come up with wads of cash and all. But you see that image, maybe that is what attracted, that when I grow up, that's what I want to be. So yes, Mercedes-Benz is definitely aspirational on that point until now. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. I hope that was different.
That's cool, yeah.